And whoa, look at Magoo. Magoo streaks into the...
Thorpe's got basketballs. They lock handlebars as they go through, but Thorpe's done.
Here comes Bradshaw to the outside of Bale. He takes over the number 2 position, and Bradshaw is not done.
Welcome, Motocross History Team. Today's going to be a quick clip of the preseason Motocross CMC Golden State Nationals. This is the 250 class, and it's the first moto, and it's the first showing of the 1987 season. And if you can think back to during that time, Honda rolled out probably the best CRs that they had ever created at that time. The CR250 was supposed to be the best, and it did not disappoint. This is also the first race where we actually get to see Johnny O'Mara on something other than a Honda when he's on his RM250. And of course, Ronnie Lachine is in rare form. Jeff Ward got a horrible start, and so we're going to see him dice through the pack. RJ got injured, and the announcers do a great job of making him seem like he's superhuman as he dominates a lot of the moto. And it's one of those rare gems of history and motocross history that is held at CARLSBAD, California. And that and Unadilla were the tracks to race at during that era. So sit back, grab a beer, or if you don't drink, a Coke Zero, and enjoy the show. So here they do a less than stellar introduction of the riders that are going to be racing in this particular moto, starting with Johnny O'Mara. Seeing him for the first time on his arm, just think that would have been like in 1987 after only seeing O'Mara race Hondas. They had Ronnie Lachine, who everybody loves, crowd favorite, from El Cajon. They had Brock Glover, also from El Cajon, who was coming off a tib-fib fracture. Unfortunately, he would get hurt early into the 87 season. And then RJ, the defending dominant champion, he was like the Jet Lawrence of the 86 season. And so everybody wanted to see him race, and they would have paid anything to see him. And these guys are lucky to have been able to see it during that time. Now in qualifying, RJ got hurt, and this was kind of a gruesome one. His front end washed out, and he had a couple of riders ride all over him. And they're going to interview him here in a second, and it'll show good, in pretty good detail, how he got hurt and what it ended up looking like, the extent of his injuries.
Has still more crash in. Earlier, we called these riders the best conditioned athletes in the world. I think Ricky Johnson proved it here. Johnson, no one thought would race again today. In the pit, the pain was obvious.
Well, here's Ricky Johnson, and Ricky, if you turn in there, there's evidence of that earlier crash. It didn't seem to slow you down, but it had to hurt.
Yeah, it hurt. It knocked the wind out of me really bad. Getting hit once isn't bad, twice is bad, but 3 times, that was the charm. I thought when I crashed, when I was laying on the ground, I got hit a couple times, and then I thought that was it. I looked back, and one of the last place riders was just coming straight for me and hit me really hard.
So I'll add a little bit of commentary in this area throughout the race. You got Tommy Watts, who was able to get the whole shot. And Ricky Johnson actually got a pretty decent starting. But you got Eric Kehoe that's going to give him some good problems here in a second.
Drops to the inside, and Ricky Johnson takes 3rd place.
Ricky Johnson, number 63, just blows right by the Yamaha of Jeff Leach, number 34, into that 3rd position, and now is right on the plastic fender of the Suzuki, written by Eric Kehoe, number 85.
You know, it's absolutely unbelievable. Here a man, Ricky Johnson on 63, who really ought to be in an emergency room at a hospital. Somebody ought to be looking at those injuries. Instead, he is right now riding in 3rd place, and he's moving for the front.
That's why guys like Ricky
I just love how the announcers milk this injury for all it's worth, making it seem like he lost a limb or something like that. he got road rash. It's pretty much all that happened to him. Jeff Leach was another one of those, just like I talked about in the last episode, one of those great upcoming talents that Yamaha, because they sucked in the 80s, they ended up letting him go, and he got wined and dined and went off to Team Honda to do great things.
Here again is the race for the lead. Tommy Watts on the Kawasaki number 24. Eric Keogh coming right up on him. Keogh number 85 on the Suzuki. Keogh is around. We have a new leader, Eric Keogh number 85.
So Keogh picks up the lead, but Watts, look at Keogh, almost drops the bike twice. Watts comes by on the inside and takes the lead back. Ricky Johnson is right behind. Tremendous fight. First, second, and third. Picked up, moved, dropped, and back again as Watts back to the lead.
And Ricky Johnson now squeezes it between them. The red Honda, number 63. That is Johnson, the king of Carlsbad, showing him why he has that title today.
Apparently, RJ was at some point dubbed by these two commentators the king of Carlsbad. I can think about 5 other guys that would be ahead of him.
Ricky Johnson, but Johnson doesn't show his injuries at all. He sits on that number 63 Honda, and look at him challenge, and Ricky Johnson has taken the lead.
Indeed he has, Paul. He shifted his weight to the rear of the seat. You can see the front wheel came up as it got more traction because of that added weight back there, and he just shot into the lead.
And Ricky Johnson casually gives a wave now to a fan at the side, indicating I'm number 1, I'm out in front. Unbelievable that this man is even riding, considering the extreme nature of his injuries from that accident earlier on. This is the battle for second place now, as Leask tries to close down and take second place away.
Leask is in the red leathers there. In front of him is a man who led a number of laps, Tommy Watts, number 24. Leask has really been playing one of the best efforts I've seen from this young Australian.
Leask showing his skill now, but he tries to catch Tommy Watts on that 24 Kawasaki. Leask comes to the outside, pulls alongside, and look at Leask. He just powers his way up alongside, gets around Watts, and now Leask runs in second.
Paul, back to that FIM sanction.
Look at Jeff Ward. He drops to the inside, tries to catch Burnworth there. Now he's back in pursuit, tries to pull alongside. And Jeff Ward takes 8th place as he moves his way toward the front, the defending champion.
Win Ward, who dominated this race last year, first moved out of mini-cycle competition some years back. They called him the Flying Freckle. He's not a very big guy, but you'd never know it when he gets on that machine, would you, Paul? He can handle it.
In the meantime, here is the battle for 5th place. 78, Lachine trying to hold off 11, Ty Davis, and 4L, Johnny O'Mara. Jeff Ward on 44 has moved up into that fight.
Freaking Ronnie Lachine, giving like 50% and still the fastest rider, one of the fastest riders out there on the track. He knows this has no meaning to his bonuses, to his contract, any points for any national championship. So he's just he probably went out, got drunk the night before, and was probably hungover when he came to the race.
Very, very well. They've raced forever, it seems, against one another. 4L, Johnny O'Mara, and 44, Jeff Ward. They fight for 7th.
That's right, and no matter what position we may be looking at, if there's 2 different makes of motorcycles...
You can only imagine for those that were Johnny O'Mara fans, all the way from the early to mid 80s, him just coming off of that awesome 125 performance at Motocross the Nations, and all of a sudden he's on an RM, which was not considered one of the fastest bikes at the time.
Well, every time I see Johnny O'Mara, I want to say he's on a Honda because he was the backbone of that team for so long, but now Suzuki's got him, and glad of it.
This battle now rolling toward the freeway. Here they come down the hill. Jeff Ward charges down. Look at Ward as he comes around Davis and O'Mara, and he now has 6th place. A tremendous run down the freeway for 44, Jeff Ward.
Well, up on the pegs, and some of the calf muscles start to tighten up. You can get cramps. In the case of Ricky Johnson, our leader, about anything could happen to him.
The moment, this is the fight. It is a fight for 3rd place as Leask tries to hold off Ron Lachine. Lachine drops back just a bit, is able to close in on the approach to the corners. It seems that his bike is handling just a little bit better. As he closes down, comes to the inside. They bump and hit, and Ron Lachine moves on in 3rd place.
Well, Jeff Leask gave him an open. Jeff got a little bit too high. Lachine seized on that, immediately dove underneath him, and executed a beautiful pass.
Ron Lachine, with years of experience, knows the openings to look for, but more importantly, he knows when there's an opening there, you have no choice, you go for it. There he is, currently riding in 3rd place, number 78, Ron Lachine.
Lachine is such a stylish rider, Paul, using his body and motorcycle as one. They're a unit.
Here is the battle for 4th place. Look at the number 4L bike. That's Johnny O'Mara as he pulls down behind Leask.
So you've got a Yamaha being chased by a Suzuki. Now let's watch Johnny O'Mara. He's looking for an opening here, trying to size up Leask style, see what kind of lines he's taking. He falls in right behind him. So far, it's follow the leader over those jumps, now uphill and going to the the inside. It's O'Mara trying to take him, but it does not work there. Knowing his style, Paul, I think he'll continue that inside attack rather than going outside and taking a chance of losing a couple of bike lengths.
O'Mara stays right there, continues to worry him. Now, O'Mara really knows the circuit here at Carlsbad. 1984, he was first overall on the 250s. This is the style that got him there. He continues to challenge, comes to the outside. Both of them past a slower rider as O'Mara continues his pursuit.
And here on the inside again is O'Mara. He's got a half a bike length. He is going to, yes, going into that fourth position is Johnny O'Mara.
So Johnny O'Mara now has fourth. Back to the leader, we look at number 63, Rick Johnson, as he heads for a checkered flag in what has been a whale of a 250 here in the first moto. One more turn.
All right, guys, that was a great moto. Great performances by some of the best riders on the circuit during that time. Leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you were there. Let me know if you had seen it on TNN and what memories it brought back for you. And until the next one, I really appreciate you watching. Thanks.